Okay, so picture this scenario. You're walking through a park. Maybe you sit down on a bench to tie your shoe, and you spot a notebook somebody left behind.
Mm-hmm.
There's no name on it, no phone number, just this handwritten title that says, The Professional Soul, a Manual for Deliberate Living.
And your first thought is probably, oh, it's a diary.
Exactly. Or a grocery list.
Yeah.
But instead, you flip it open to a page titled Day 48, and what you find is just, well, it looks like absolute chaos.
It really does. It looks like the inside of someone's brain just spilled onto the page.
Totally.
It's what you'd call a commonplace book, but in the most chaotic sense. You have a tactical fitness routine.
Right.
With rocking and interval sprints sitting right next to the Beatitudes from the Bible.
It's a real clash. You've got a quote from an NBA player on one line and then a 17th century French philosopher on the next.
It feels like a mess, but, and this is why we're digging into it, it's not a mess at all.
You're saying it's actually a code.
It is. It's a highly coherent algorithm for living, just disguised as a scrapbook. If you can look past the, the clash of sources.
If you stop wondering why an NBA star is hanging out with Jean-Paul Sartre.
Exactly. If you do that, you see the single unified argument for what the author calls deliberate living.
So our mission for this deep dive is to decode that argument. We're going to figure out how a heavy backpack, a Spanish proverb, and moral philosophy all fit together.
Into a single strategy for a good life.
Yeah.
And it really is a single strategy. The central thesis of Day 48 is this. A good life is built. You don't just stumble into it.
I love that line in there.
Which one?
Intention and consistency beat inspiration and talent.
Yes.
It's basically saying that waiting around for that lightning strike of motivation, it's a fool's errand.
You have to build the lightning rod yourself.
Right.
And the thread connecting everything in this journal is behavior. Not what you think, not what you feel, but what you do.
There's that nod to Nassim Nicholas Taleb in there.
The risk analyst, yeah. He argues that heroes are heroic because of their behavior, not because they won or lost.
Which is such a relief, honestly.
How so?
Because you can't control winning. You can't control the market or the weather or if you get the promotion, but you can control how you show up.
And that takes us right to the first major pillar of this journal.
The battle between two archetypes.
The amateur and the professional.
This is the real anchor of the whole thing. It all circles around this quote from Stephen Pressfield's book, The War of Art.
Yeah, a lot of people know that book.
But this specific quote, it just destroys that romantic idea of the tortured artist.
It completely deconstructs the myth of waiting for the muse.
The entry says, the goddess of inspiration wears combat boots and carries a lunch pail and a thermos.
It's such a great image.
It really is.
It takes this ethereal idea, like creativity, and dresses it up like a construction worker. The goddess doesn't float down from the heavens.
She punches a clock.
She punches a clock. And that's the whole distinction. The amateur is obsessed with the mystery, with the mood.
They talk about their plans, but they don't do them.
Right. But the professional shuts up.
The professional shuts up. That's blunt.
It is, but it's real. The text is plain. She doesn't talk about it. She does her work. The idea is that inspiration finds the people who are already working.
It descends on the working, not the worthy.
Exactly.
And this connects so perfectly to that other voice in this section, the NBA player, Jamal Crawford.
Right, who was known for this incredible, just pure talent. You'd watch him and think, that guy was born to do this.
But his quote in here says something totally different.
What does it say?
He says, the best players find the gym. They don't sit around waiting for the gym to find them.
Which is funny because, I mean, a gym is a building. It can't find you.
Right.
But metaphorically, we do that all the time. We wait for the right time to start a project or to get healthy.
We're passive. We treat our own lives like we're in a waiting room.
Yeah, we do. Crawford is saying, no, you have to be active. You go knock on the door. And this loops right back to Taleb.
The behavior guy.
It's the behavior guy.
Yeah.
If you put Pressfield, Crawford, and Taleb together, the takeaway is that readiness is a choice you make every day. It's not a personality trait.
So even writing this journal entry, Day 48, that's a form of training.
It's the same rep as showing up to the gym. It's practice.
Okay, but this is where it gets really interesting for me. Because if this was just about grind,
it would be exhausting.
it would be just another piece of hustle culture propaganda.
I agree. If it stopped there, it would be a recipe for total burnout.
But then the tone shifts completely.
It does. It moves from this very American-style drive to something the document calls the Spanish voice.
And the quotes are literally in Spanish. We've
Yeah.
translated them, but the vibe is just, it's so different. It's grounding.
It's the counterweight. It has to be there.
So let's look at a couple of these. There's a proverb, he who gets out of the way helps a lot.
Which is brilliant. It's the ultimate anti-ego statement. Sometimes the best thing you can do is just get out of the way.
And then there's one from the singer Facundo Cabral, we must live more, not ask for more.
Mm-hmm.
And Jean-Paul Sartre, but quoted in Spanish. Happiness is not doing what you want, but wanting what you do.
And that's fascinating that it's Sartre in Spanish. It suggests the idea felt different, truer in that language for the author.
But what does that really mean, wanting what you do? It sounds a bit like resignation.
I don't think it's resignation. I think it's about agency, about alignment.
Okay.
So if you're washing the dishes, you can be miserable about it, or you can choose to be present and just wash the dishes. It's about aligning your internal state with your external reality.
So this is what stops the professional mindset from becoming toxic.
Exactly. The professional says, do the work. The Spanish voice says, be present in the work. It brings in health over money, silence over noise. It's saying, yes, work hard, but don't lose yourself in the process.
That balance is everything. And speaking of balance, the actual physical layout of this page is strange.
It's jarring, yeah.
You have a tactical workout schedule sitting right next to a moral code.
At first glance, it looks like a mistake, like two different documents got mashed together.
It does. There's a header for tactical periodization. Now, I had to look this up. What is that exactly?
It actually comes from soccer coaching, but it's used a lot in military contexts now. The
Okay.
basic idea is you don't train things in isolation. You don't just do cardio day, then strength day. You train the whole system for a specific mission.
So it's very purposeful. The list here is Monday, intervals, Tuesday,
Mhm.
lifting, Saturday, rucks, which is walking with a weighted pack.
Right. Very military, very grounding.
And then right next to this, this sweat and dirt schedule, you're reading about developing your soul. Why?
Because the author is refusing to compartmentalize. Most of us live in boxes. We have our gym self and our work self and our spiritual self. This document says, no, that's wrong. The gym isn't separate from the chapel.
So how are they connected?
Well, look at the workout. It's sequential. It's cumulative. It requires daily commitment.
Right.
Now look at the moral advice. It's structured the same way. Character development and physical development are on the same track.
So being kind it's just reps.
In a way, yes. It's something you practice. You don't become kind by deciding to be kind once. You do reps of kindness day after day.
There's a quote in here from Pavel Tsatsouline, the kettlebell guy.
The master, yeah.
He says, when in doubt, train your grip and your core.
Which is great physical advice. A strong grip and core make you resilient. But think about it metaphorically.
Okay.
When life gets chaotic, what do you need? You need to hold on tight, that's your grip. And you need to stabilize your center, that's your core values.
Wow, I like that. It turns the workout into a metaphor.
It does. And then you have Dan John, the strength coach, talking about how coaches can change lives.
Right.
He's putting the physical work in a social context. You don't train just to look good. The professional trains to be useful, to help a neighbor move, to be a role model. Body, mind, spirit, they're all one thing here.
Which brings us to the most surprising part of the whole document.
The spiritual spine.
Yeah. We go from grip strength and core work, and then bam, the Beatitudes from St. Matthew.
It's a pivot, for sure.
We go from train your grip to blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. How does that fit?
It fits perfectly with that sufficiency theme from the Spanish voice. The Beatitudes are a call to tenderness. They promise comfort to those who mourn, mercy to the merciful.
And this is paired with Tolstoy's Calendar of Wisdom. I was not expecting Tolstoy here.
Tolstoy is crucial. This is where it gets a little dense, but it's so important. Tolstoy makes an argument about inequality.
Inequality.
Yes. He says, look, in the physical world, the world of the gym, the NBA people are unequal. It's a fact. Some are stronger, some are faster, some are smarter.
Right. I'm never going to have Jamal Crawford's skills. It's just not in my biology.
Exactly. Reality is unfair. It's a hierarchy. So Tolstoy argues that the spiritual principle of equality is necessary to correct that reality.
So, equality isn't a fact. It's a discipline we practice.
Yes. It's a spiritual choice we impose on a chaotic world. Just like the journalist's movement hygiene for your joints, this is a kind of spiritual hygiene. You have to consciously practice treating the meek with the same respect as the strong.
That changes the whole idea of what a professional is.
It does. A
Yeah.
true professional isn't just a machine. There's someone who actively maintains their humanity in an unfair world.
There's one line in this section that really stands out. It's so quiet compared to everything else.
I know the one you mean.
It just says, "My still mind reflects only peace and holiness."
It's the only entry that asks for nothing. No work, no lifting, no improving.
Just stillness.
It's the anchor. It's the rest day for the soul.
It's really beautiful,
Yeah.
but just when we start getting too serious.
The reality check comes in.
Yes. The author throws in this little wink, a quote from Bertrand Russell.
I love this part.
He says, "It has been said that man is a rational animal. All my life I have been searching for evidence which could support this."
It's the author admitting, look, I have all these high ideals and schedules, but I'm human. I'm a mess.
It's the acknowledgement that we aren't naturally disciplined or rational.
If we were, we wouldn't need a journal like this in the first place. The document exists because the author struggles. It's a tool, not a trophy.
And there's that Wilson Misner quote, too. "If you copy from one artist, it's plagiarism, but if you copy from many, it's research."
Which is a hilarious way of admitting that this whole manual is just a collection of other people's wisdom.
The author isn't a guru.
They're just a good researcher. And it makes the whole thing so much more approachable. It's not a sermon, it's a scrapbook of what works.
So let's try to wrap this all up. We've gone from the muse in combat boots to the stillness of the mind. The document ends with a medical concept.
The minimum effective dose, which is the perfect way to summarize it all. In medicine, you want the smallest dose that cures the illness. Anything more is just toxic.
So the idea is to apply that to life. Do enough to get the result you want, and then stop.
Precision over excess. Don't just grind for the sake of grinding.
So if we had to summarize this Day 48 philosophy, it seems to come down to 4 pillars.
I think so. First, do the work. Like Pressfield and Crawford, be a professional. Show up.
Okay?
Second, live more. Don't just ask for more. That's the Spanish wisdom of sufficiency.
Number 3.
Treat others with tenderness. That's the Beatitudes in Tolstoy. It's the spiritual hygiene to balance an unfair world.
And the last one.
Don't take yourself too seriously. That's the Bertrand Russell wink. Remember, you're human, you're going to fail, and that's okay.
It's a powerful recipe. It's not about being perfect.
It's about being deliberate, building a life, not just letting it happen to you.
So here's the question we want to leave you with today.
Yeah.
We talked about how heroes are defined by their behavior, not their results.
Right.
So, regardless of how you feel right now, inspired, tired, whatever, what is one simple behavior you can show up for today? Just the minimum effective dose. What's the one thing you can do to prove to yourself that you're a pro?
That's the only question that really matters.
Thanks for diving in with us.
See you next time.